These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Mountain Goat. On Wednesday, the Iraqi Parliament approved the Emergency Support for Food Security and Development law. Folks, this law has very little significance on the project to delete the zeros and the reinstatement. I can tell you with 1,000% certainty that the new rate is not in this new food security law. Nader from the Mideast says a lot of people talk about the ATM. We didn't see any ATMs. The ATMs exist already. They're in the banks. You can go to the ATMs and get money from it. I don't know what they're saying about ATMs installed everywhere. So what? It's not a big deal. All right, Bruce via Wiser Now says Iraq, they did what they said they were going to do with their rates, and it's a good opening starting rate in country and internationally. It will probably get up to about 8 in a couple of days, just to let you know. And our rate would be much higher than what we're talking about as an international rate. Remember, we have potential to get the highest rates available at the redemption centers, just to let you know. Tivan says, bottom line, the FSL is working its magic. Citizens' entitlements was a part of the package, and we already know what comes with that, all this being done without a seated government or 22 budget. So how important is it really to the reinstatement if we are on the cusp of receiving everything without one? Breitling question, are you still looking at a rate of 50 to 60 cents, or has that changed with everything that's changed in the world? Breitling says, I haven't heard anything outside of that 50 to 60-cent range, and then they'll work up to $1.17 actually. All right, Mark Z and via PDK, the chatter has been phenomenal. Banks are reporting much more movement than it has in weeks, probably months. There's a whole lot of chatter on movement and funds being released over the weekend for the beginning of next week, so they have spendable liquid cash. Bankers out there being given promises we will see in about 48 hours or less. All right, Pimpy article, quote, NATO to Al-Kazimi, Iraq is a pivotal country in the region and the world. We know that there are many countries that are eyeballing Iraq. They are the gateway to the Middle East. For a lot of countries interested in getting their claws in on Iraq, that's for sure. Right, Caparoni says the new food security law has no exchange rate. There is no discussion at this time in Iraq about a new currency. There is no currency or small denominations coming out in the near future. Tivan article, quote, a legal review of the pros and cons of the food security law. Al-Tamimi says it will be implemented when it is published in the official gazette and when it is approved by the President of the Republic. This is for people who assumed a rate was going to pop up as soon as the vote was done, and they have to then follow up with the relevant authorities to implement the FSL. Now that we know they're waiting on the publication in the President of the Republic, we can relax and let this play out. Nader from the Mideast community comment, question, when the reinstatement happened, it's going to be redemption centers, it's going to be army bases. And so Nader said, Army has nothing to do with it. You cannot go to any Army base and change your dinars. About the redemption center, I don't know how it works over there. I feel like it's not real redemption. They give you more money than the dinar costs. Why? They're going to lose money just to make money. Nader's response to that question is, I don't think so. Militiaman article, quote, the governor of the central bank inspects the work of a number of private banks, unquote. Militiaman says those private bank inspections are to make sure all is ready for that launching of something special for the citizens. I am not lost on the Central Bank of Iraq governor that's brought gifts to the Central Bank of England in London a couple weeks ago. That was something special. The world knows it as well as you and I. And lastly, from BGG, article, quote, Al-Maliki's coalition, the food security law is unconstitutional and is nothing more than a dead letter. BGG says, kind of curious how Maliki's gang is so spun up about this law. BGG also said, when was the last time you heard these crooks complaining about a, quote, bad law, unquote? Never seemed to bother them before.